As a developer myself, I know how important a terminal can be in terms of a programming workflow. And in particular, Windows Terminal, like the old one, particularly Command Prompt, has a particularly bad rep just because it isn't as customizable, and sort of the things it's built upon aren't nearly as great as the Unix terminals, which are found on Linux as well as the Macintosh operating system. So in this video, I want to show you guys the new Windows terminal that they have released like around a year ago, and that offers a lot more customization. And so I want to share that with you guys. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright guys, so I have my terminal loaded in, and if you guys can see, we actually do have this custom kind of image backdrop, which I'll show you guys how to do, as well as just like a really nice UI. So in order to download it, you can go ahead and download it from the Windows Store. So the Windows Store right here. Oh yeah, the Microsoft Store. So that will, all you have to do is type in Windows Terminal, and the icon looks a little something like this, Windows Terminal, right? So the icon looks something like that, and that is how you can go ahead and install the terminal. Now, once you have it, you'll probably see a very bare bones terminal, and this is all the customization I've done personally for myself, right? So in order to see how we can customize this and sort of take this really to the next level, what we have to do is go to the customization menu. So how you do that is you click on this arrow, and then from there you click on settings, and as you guys can see, there's a shortcut for that. And instead of having like this visual menu, what you're greeted with is a JSON menu. So this is used frequently throughout coding for basically just data storage in general. So here you guys can see there's a bunch of things, and we don't really need to worry about too many of these. There's the default profile, which is essentially the default terminal that we want open, right? So I've chosen Windows Shell, and how you change that is you simply take the GUID of any of the other ones. So this is the PowerShell, which matches with this one. Or I can also take the GUID of the command prompt right here, right? So if I copy this and I paste it right here, what will happen is first I have to save it as well. But now if I click this, then you guys can see it gives me the good old command prompt, right? And I've changed the default. However, I didn't really want that, so I'm just going to revert that back to the original. Alright, so there's obviously a bunch of things here, but the thing I want to really showcase is right here. So as you guys have seen, I've gone ahead and basically made my adjustments right over here. So first of all, I went ahead and chose a color scheme. Right, so in order to first add a color scheme, what you have to do is go down to schemes, which is an array type, and you have to paste in an object that is a color scheme. As you guys can see, my name here is Seashells, and we have the variety of color schemes, which in itself we can edit. We can edit all of these colors because they're just hexadecimal RGB colors, right? So we can go ahead and edit that, and I actually did go ahead and edit this from the original source I got it from. So you may be wondering, where did I even get this color scheme from? And that is actually from a great site called Windows Terminal Themes. And this is actually a site where you can kind of check out how these colors will look, right? And there's a light and a dark. I personally just use dark, so we can just see how it would look like in a terminal sort of setting. And the one I have gotten is the Seashells because I thought it looked nice. It seemed, personally, I like kind of like a dark blue background for my terminals and sort of my coding workspace. So yeah, I went ahead and got Seashells. So right over here. So yeah, it gives me this nice kind of that. And then from there, I actually went, since I really like this light, I guess, yellow or orange kind of borderline color, I went ahead and actually, I copied it, but then I changed the background to make it more blue. So instead of this black color that's in the terminal, as you guys can see, this is kind of how it will look. So it's, as you guys can see, it's a pretty black color, but I want to make it a bit more bluish, as you guys can see here. So I went ahead and did that by just changing in the foreground and the background colors in here, right? And the last thing that I did from there is I actually added in an image. So as you guys can see, there's a background image property, right? And for the background image property, you can just put in the image. Just keep in mind, this is the absolute path. So this has to be something like, let's say, like where I got it from was my download section, right? So if I go down, I think it was like right here, right? So let's say, yeah, this is a terminal image. So what you do is you right click on it, go on properties, and then from the location, you copy this location and you paste it in, and then you also add an extra backslash for every single backslash, and then you also have to backslash in the name itself, so terminal.jpg, and that's all good. And then from there, you also have to change in, you can also add in a background opacity, because if I put it at 1, right, let me save. It takes a second to load here. So as you guys can see, it kind of puts in the entire image, and you may be a fan of this, but for me, like if I kind of see all these images, it's kind of a little too much personally. So what I'll do is probably have like an image opacity of 0.5. And I think that's just like a nice balance between just having the regular background as well as kind of having this image background to maybe inspire you. So yeah, so that is one of the last things. And you can also change the font face, right? So you can change the font face anything. And I thought that this Cascadia, I guess, Code PL is a really nice font compared to the original font, which it kind of looks like this. I personally really like this font, so I went ahead with this. Right, so thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, feel free to like. If you guys want more content like this, feel free to check out the rest of our channel and subscribe for further content. With that being said, that's been it for me. Peace.